Good afternoon and welcome to NASA's Johnson Space Center. I'm Chelsea Bayarte here with none other than NASA astronaut Don Pettit. He just returned from space on April 19th, which was April 20th in the Kazakhstan time zone. He spent 220 days in space on this mission, but it was his fourth mission overall, bringing him to a cumulative time of 590 days in space over the course of his career. That's third on the all-time list of cumulative space time by a NASA astronaut. Don, we're excited to toss it to you for some opening remarks, but first, we've got some media here in the room, we've got some on our phone bridge, and we're also taking questions using hashtag AskNASA. So if you've got a question and you want to ask our astronaut Don Pettit here, please press *1 on your phone to enter our question queue. If your question has already been asked and you want to lower your hand, please press *2 to subtract your question. And of course, send your questions on social media using hashtag AskNASA. Don, do you want to kick us off?
It's good to be back on planet Earth. As much as I love exploring space, going into the frontier, and making observations and doing the mission, you do reach a time where it's time to come home. And here I am.
All right, perfect. We're going to start off with some questions in the room here. I think we've got one from Richard here in the front. Oh.
Thank you. Richard C. with the Post newspaper. Don, I'm just curious, what are your tips and techniques for your recovering from coming back to Earth from outer space, and how's that changed over the various missions that you've done in the past? Have you sort of adapted and learned different things as those missions have accumulated? Thank you.
Okay, recovery. What do you do when you come back to Earth? And my philosophy is you go with the flow. You do what the flight docs and the physical trainers, who are all expert, you do what they want you to do. And NASA's learned over the years how to better sort of gravity rehabilitate astronauts when they come back. And everybody has a little different feeling for what it takes to come back. Some people can roll off a shuttle flight and they're ready to go out and have a pizza dance. And someone like me, coming back to Earth has always been a significant challenge. And even with a 16-day shuttle mission, that felt about like being gone for 6 months on space station. And that's just my physiology. And you go with the flow, you do what your trainers tell you to, you do what your flight docs tell you to, and you'll pop out on the other side an Earthling once again.
Another question here in the room.
Yeah, hi, Eric Berger, Ars Technica. Welcome back to Earth and humidity here in Houston. I want to ask you what it feels like today coming back from space versus 2003 when you were 48 after landing in Soyuz, and then 2012, 57, and now you're 70. It's not an ageist question. I'm just wondering, as you get older, your body changes and it becomes less resilient to demanding things. And I think coming back from space after 6 or 7 months and experiencing gravity is pretty challenging, demanding. So I'm just curious, could you contrast kind of how you feel as a 70-year-old coming back from space versus a generation ago?
Actually, I don't feel that much difference. I still feel like a little kid inside, and I probably act more like a little kid than a grown-up. And I've got a few creaks and groans in my body, but basically I feel the same as I did 20 years ago. And coming back to gravity is provocative, more so than leaving gravity. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way with everybody. That's the way it is with me. And it's a learning process to get your body back in gear for gravity. And it isn't the big muscle groups, because think about it. A week ago, I was on station. I was doing really heavy squats. I was doing deadlifts. I could float around with the greatest of ease, even though I had no trapeze. And I was right at the peak of my game. And then you come back to Earth, and it's like, God, I can't even get up from the floor anymore. And it's humbling, for one. But it isn't about the large muscle groups. It's about the little tiny muscles that everybody forgets about because they're just there and they work. But when you're in weightlessness, these muscles don't work anymore, and they take a 6-month vacation until you come back to Earth, and now all of a sudden they start groaning and talking to you. And it takes a while to get all these little muscles tuned back up to being an Earthling. And it seems to be the same now as it was, 23 years ago on my first space flight.
We'll take a question now from the phone bridge. We'll go to the Associated Press with Marcia Dunn.
Yes, welcome back, Don. I'm wondering, you looked a little peaked, a little limp at touchdown when they were taking you to the medical tent. What were you feeling then? Like, did you feel as bad as you looked? I'm sorry to ask. And you said you have a few creaks and groans in your body back on Earth, but what about weightlessness alleviated any creaks and groans, or, what was special about space that made you even feel physically more fit than perhaps you do on Earth? Thanks.
And Marcia, you've always asked good questions. I think you were there when I came back from my first flight. So you understand what it means to have jumped 20 years into the future. Creaks and groans right after landing. I didn't look too good because I didn't feel too good. I was right in the middle of emptying the contents of my stomach onto the steppes of Kazakhstan, and that's my new way of explaining what I was doing. And fortunately, just the way the cameras are set up there, they're polite, and they don't have a camera shoved in your face when you're in the middle of doing that. And they cut away to give you a little bit of privacy when you're not feeling too good, because after all, nobody wants to be on camera when we're doing that. But yeah, I was not a happy camper, but it was within family of what it's like for me to come back to Mother Earth.
And then I think the part 2 of her question, did you find that spaceflight alleviated any?
Oh, yeah, spaceflight. I love being in space, Marcia. It makes me feel like I'm 30 years old again. And you sleep in your bed, you wake up in the morning, your shoulder, it's like that, and this neck is stiffened. And all that kind of stuff heals up because you're sleeping, you're just floating. And your body, all these little aches and pains and everything heal up, and you feel like you're 30 years old again, and free of pain, free of everything, and ready to do your mission work. So I love being on orbit. It's a great place to be for me and my physiology.
Okay, we'll take another question from Andrea Leinfelder with the Houston Chronicle.
Hi, welcome back. So I saw your NASA video, and I've heard from other astronauts who've just been awestruck by your passion for science of opportunity. I'm hoping you can tell us your favorite science of opportunity experiment on the station with lots of details, please, and why you enjoy doing these in your downtime. Thank you.
Let me first jump into my downtime. I'm not a big email person. I'm not a big social media person, but don't tell that to Chelsea. And while I'm here on Earth, and I want to spend very little time doing that kind of stuff when I'm on space. I want to spend my off-duty time, and I like the concept of off-duty. It's not free time, it's off-duty. You're living on a vehicle that you could be called back to do emergency or warning kind of things at the drop of a hat. You got to keep your wits about you, so you're off-duty. But what do you do during your off-duty time? And I have a habit of doing things off-duty on station that you can't do on Earth simply because I'm in space, and I want to do things in space that you can only do in space. And I'll worry about catching up with TV programs and things like that after I come back. So that's that aspect of why I spend time in space working on science of opportunity. Getting to one of my favorite experiments, and this was something I did like the last 2 weeks before I came back. In my personal gear, I brought a wire frame. So it looked like a big U. And then I had one side of the U that's a slider. So you could slide it. You could slide it about 1.5 feet. And I use this to make stretched, thin films, where you start off with the slider all the way at the top, and you put a known volume of soap solution there, and then you could slide the bottom down, and you could increase the cross-sectional area. And since you know the initial volume, now you know approximately what the thickness is. And so you could look at stretched thin films in an environment without the effects of gravitational weight, of gravitational forces. And I looked at multiple different kinds of solutions. I looked at just pure water, and you can make stretched thin films of pure water, which you can't do down here, but you can do it there. And then 2 different kinds of surfactants. A natural surfactant based off of palm oil, Castile soap, and then our good sodium lauryl sulfate, petrochemical-based detergent. And then I had access to some high molecular weight, water-soluble polymers, oftentimes known as things like Surgi lube from our medical kit, things like that. And then you could make concoctions of all of these and look at the effect on the stretched thin film as a function of pulling down the wire and looking at the film thickness. And that was about a 2-week investigation I did in my off-duty time right before I came home. And I still have all these pictures and a lot of video, and it's something that it's going to take a long time for me to look at it and try to figure out what it all means.
I'm going to go to a question on social media. Zev on Instagram asks, what is the best part and the worst part about living on the ISS?
Oh, the best part is being in weightlessness, and you can fly around the room like Peter Pan. I mean, that is just so much fun. The worst part, and that's maybe dealing with a whole bunch of little tiny parts. You could move something the size of a refrigerator around with a couple of fingers, but if you have a whole bunch of little tiny parts, they could just float all over. And just think about, you have a flash on your camera, and you pull it off. You need to change the batteries. It holds 4 batteries. So you got 4 new batteries. You got the 4 old batteries. You got the door, and then you got your flash, and you're juggling all these things around. How do I do that? You can't just set them on the tabletop. And what happens if you mix the new batteries with the old batteries? They all look alike, and a simple voltage measurement may not tell you the new battery from the old battery. So it's how do you juggle all these little things, which are so easy to do down here because you set your new batteries in a nice little row here, and you put your old batteries in a little row there, and then you just deal with them. And you have to have a different technique when you're on orbit, and it takes a while to learn how to do that.
We'll go back to our phone bridge with a question from Ryan Caton with NASASpaceflight.com.
Thank you. So the ISS has grown and expanded over the last 20 years, similar to the flights that you have taken there. What was it like seeing how the station has developed over time, like comparing the station now to your first mission? And was it also kind of bittersweet, considering that it's going to be deorbited in approximately 5 years' time? Thank you.
Yeah, the first time I went to the station, it had half the crew, 1/4 the electrical power, probably 1/4 the pressurized volume, and we were still in the process of building it. So it's like living in your house when you're trying to build it, and you've got a table saw set up in the dining room and a bucket where the kitchen sink goes, but you're still trying to live there. And then, of course, you got to do a PAO event. And that's like having your boss come by for dinner when you still got the table saw set up in the dining room. And that's what station was like at the beginning. And more of a transparent thing. NASA was just learning how to run the space station. The last time they'd run a space station was Skylab. And we're just trying to learn, how do you task the astronauts? How do you keep them busy? How do you keep from overworking the astronauts? What happens when they start to run low on food? This and that. Just the operational details of space station. Now, space station is a well-oiled machine from its operation. We've got computer-based tools. We use notepad computers to look at our timelines and get our procedures. And we have near continuous comm with the ground. We could go for hours without having any comm with the ground on the first mission. And now, if you go 10 minutes without having comm with the ground, it's like, oh man, we're not going to be able to talk to you for 10 minutes. And it's a well-oiled machine. We're as efficient as we'll ever be working on space station, keeping 7 people occupied doing the mission work, and the volume expansion is right where it needs to be in terms of facilities. We've got furnaces, we've got biological facilities, we've got centrifuges, we've got all these different kinds of facilities that you could do any number of experiments, from biological-based experiments to hardcore physical science experiments, combustion experiments, crystal growth experiments. All of these facilities are there with the electrical power and the commanding and the data downlink necessary to keep these facilities going. I mean, a station is a hopping place right now. It's never a dull moment. And it's expanded into what it was really designed to be. And in terms of the end of space station, I'm a firm believer we don't need to dump space station in the ocean in 2030 if we don't want to. If we as a society decided to keep space station, we can keep it like a B-52. I mean, how many years has that thing been flying? It'll be flying close to 100 years by the time the Air Force finally retires the B-52, and it's basically the same airframe with the same aerodynamics, but everything else is new, and there's no limit to what we could do to space station except for our will to keep refurbishing it and having the funding necessary for doing it. And one example of that is with our solar panels. The current solar panels needed the space shuttle to put them on orbit, and solar panels have a finite lifetime. They're degrading, and we've got new sets of solar panels. NASA engineers working with the contractors, aerospace industry, figured out how to make new solar panels that could launch on a Dragon vehicle, much less mass, much less volume than the initial ones, and we just kind of roll them out over the existing solar panels. So you use all the guidance system, all the gimbaling, all the electrical wiring, all the stuff from the old solar panels. You just kind of roll out a new one over the old one. And what a creative piece of engineering to be able to do that. And it just shows that hey, we're running low on power. We figured out a way to get more power. We just revamped our radiators. It's a way to get rid of power on orbit, because if you can't get rid of power, you're in a vacuum, you're going to heat up, and you need to have a way to get rid of all the power that you're generating. And we just revamped our radiators during this last mission, and we can keep station going for as long as we want to keep it going. That's my opinion.
We'll take our next question from Robert Perlman with Collect Space.
Hi, Don. It's been 16 years since you introduced the world to the zero-G coffee cup. We saw you drinking from it again during this expedition. I'm just wondering if you think it's reached its final design form, or if you found there's still improvements to be made. And I noticed that you had it seemed to be two different types, porcelain and plastic or 3D printed. Does one work better than the other?
Oh, the zero-G cup. It's always going to be in the process of being reinvented. I hope so. I hope other people take it and expand it to whatever its capability could be. Just one aspect of the zero-G cup, I had some test study zero-G cups that I actually ended up using as a planter for growing peanuts in. So that's an example of extending the fluid physics of the zero-G cup into an area where now you can have a plant growing in it, and the roots can have not only access to water, but they can also have access to a region of 100% humidity, and roots do not like to be just completely submerged in water. They like to have respiration processes going on, and they need access to air. And roots that just soak in water typically aren't happy roots. And to be able to have roots that can be partly in air, partly in water, makes for a happy plant. In this case, a peanut. And using the coffee cup technology, getting to the different styles. We've got the 3D resin printed coffee cups, and then the porcelain ones I actually slip cast in my garage. I like to do ceramics, and those you have to be careful on orbit because they're flown just for demonstration, and then you have to wrap them up and put them away because they're brittle. You could break them, and you don't want sharp shards floating around. So really the porcelain ones were just for quick demonstration. The 3D printed plastic ones are what we could actually use for enjoying a cup of joe with.
Our next question comes from Marcia Smith with Space Policy Online.
Thanks so much. Don, thank you for all the wonderful images that you sent back to us. And I'm curious as to which one was your favorite. But I'm also curious as to whether or not you ever just took the time to look out the window yourself without the camera, or did you always have the camera in front of your eyes? And I was also wondering what advice you gave to the cinematographer on the FRAM-2 mission, Yannicka. She said that she'd been in touch with you to get some pointers.
Okay. Let me kind of throw something back at you. If you look at a hardcore photographer on Earth, do you ever find one without his camera? And you know, if you like to capture the moment through imagery, you always want to have a camera with you. I feel a little naked now, even though I'm fully clothed, because I don't have a camera with me. But I could look out the window and just enjoy the view. But when I'm looking out the window and just enjoying the view, it's like, oh, wow, a meteor. Oh, wow, look at that. Man, there's a flash there. What's that? And oh, look at that, a volcano going off. And it's like, okay, where's my camera? I got to record that. And part of this drive for me is when your mission is over, it's photographs and memories. It's like the Jim Croce album. And when you want to share the experience with people, you can share the memories through verbal communication like we're doing now. But the photographs are just another dimension of sharing what it's like. And I've got plenty of photographs in which to share what the experience is like. And it's an experience where most people on Earth right now can't share this experience. And I could try to give them a glimpse through my imagery.
We'll go to a question now with Ken Chang from the New York Times.
Hi, thanks. So my question is, are you going to do this again? I was wondering what your future plans are.
Okay. I'm going through gravity rehab right now, and in maybe another month I'll be ready to go back into space again. You can talk to my family about that. They may want me around a little bit longer, but I call it the explorer's paradox. When you're back in civilization, you want to be out there wherever your wilderness happens to be. And then when you're in your wilderness, it's like, wow, I need to be back with my family. And I think it's probably gone on for as long as humanity has had people that go off into the wilderness. I'm ready to go back when the flight docs say I'm ready to go back. Being an explorer of space is what seems to be my lot in life, and I'm ready to do it. And I know John Glenn flew at age 76, something like that, and I'm only 70, so I've got a few more good years left. I could see getting another flight or two in before I'm ready to hang up my rocket nozzles.
All right, we're going to take a question that we got from social media. This one's from Louise, who asks, after taking a real didgeridoo and improvising one with the vacuum cleaner tube on your past missions, did you play any musical instruments on board regularly during this mission? And do you have any thoughts about the value of music in space?
Music is important. If you look at humanity going back through time, there's always some kind of music, some kind of rhythm, and the same thing is in space. And if you don't have formal musical instruments with you, you'll end up improvising musical instruments. On my first flight, I flew a didgeridoo. It actually came apart in 3 sections. It was made by a colleague of mine in Australia, and it would fit in a standard mid-deck locker. It was designed for that. Since then, I found that this one wet-dry vacuum cleaner we have on orbit, if you pop the hose off and put the right attachment on the end, it makes a rather nice didgeridoo. And so the last few missions, rather than flying a didgeridoo, I just used the vacuum cleaner hose. And it's a rhythmic thing. And I like going into these conical sections of the hatch that the Russians have for their docking system, and the acoustics in there is just amazing, particularly with a rhythm instrument like a didgeridoo. And I'm not really a gifted music person. A didgeridoo is about all I could play. We have some real musicians that have flown on orbit, and we've got guitars and a keyboard, and they've individually flown their own kind of musical instruments. We've had trumpets and clarinets and bagpipes and almost everything you could think of on orbit, depending on what the crew member happens to be. And having music, particularly your off-duty time, is a good thing. It's central to what it means to be a human being.
We'll go back to some questions here in the room. Go ahead.
Richard Too of the Post newspaper again. Don, I know someone who lives nearby you, and they describe you as someone who likes to tinker, likes to work on things, and will help a neighbor fix a bum device if they have something. How has that innate sense of how things work, that curiosity of not just how things work, but helping other people, helped you in your various ISS missions?
Yeah. You need to back up and look. What do astronauts do? What is your job? And most of what we do is taking things apart and fixing it. And it involves mechanical skills, it involves electrical skills, it involves fluid skills, and these are the exact kinds of things I love to do in my spare time. And I'll tell you a story. I have a little razor. It's a little travel razor. And it's probably, a $12 item. And it stopped working. And it's like, okay, you throw it away, buy another one. That's $12. Or you could go in your garage and take it apart and see, well, how does it work? And why did it break? And I spent probably 3 hours working on this little razor. And I took it apart. It has a real inexpensive electric motor. I mean, right, it's a $12 item. And that electric motor has little tiny brushes. It was a DC motor, has a commutator with brushes, and one of the brushes had burned through. And it's like, oh, okay, what do I do now? Well, I happen to have some strips of copper beryllium alloy, and you add a little bit of beryllium to copper, and it becomes a spring. And that's what they make brushes out of. And I had some, and this is from the weather stripping that you could put on your garage door. You can get it at Home Depot, this copper weather stripping. Well, that's copper beryllium alloy, and it's really thin and springy. And so I cut a little piece of that off with a pair of tin snips and bent it around and did a little soldering, and I made a new set of brushes for this thing. And it's because
We'll go to our next question in the room here.
Eric Berger with Ars Technica again. Wanted to first just thank you for the moments of inspiration. You mentioned you feel like there's a kid inside you. And I think a lot of us got into space or interested in space because we looked up and saw fascinating things when we were kids. And to sort of see the pictures and stuff you brought back from orbit, same kind of inspirational. It's just remarkable. I did want to ask you about long-duration missions because one of the important things the ISS program does is study astronaut health over long-term in space. I'm just curious, after 590 days and 4 missions, what's your own personal view of the viability of long-duration human travel to Mars or other places? Do you think that sort of with the current technology we have from an astronaut mental and physical health standpoint, we're in a good shape for that, or do you think that we've still got a lot to learn?
Yeah. Eric, you've been a long-term presence here in space, and I appreciate you being there asking good questions. Human physiology's an amazing, robust thing, and we can go places where we were not innately meant to go. We can go in the bottom of the ocean. We can go into the stratosphere. We can go into space. And we need to take machines with us that provide us things so we could be there. But human beings seem to have this amazing ability to adapt into a new environment. And I do not see any rate-limiting aspects of human physiology for going to Mars. And just think about transoceanic exploration of the 15th century. I mean, you put somebody on a ship for 90 to 100 days, and maybe they get to eat salted pork and dry tack, and then all of a sudden they get all these nasty ailments that we now know are vitamin deficiencies, and they learn about human physiology, oftentimes the hard way. And we're going about it maybe with a little more care and a little more knowledge today. But we are learning so much about human physiology when we go off into these places. And what we learn apply to our knowledge to keep people healthy on Earth. And that is part of what it means to explore. And one thing that I find fascinating about space is astronauts can go into space and we get disease-like symptoms, bone density loss, eye retinal issues, immune system depression, all of these things, disease-like symptoms in healthy people. And then we go back to Earth and they generally all go away. And so what a neat venue for learning about these kinds of things where you can incite a disease-like symptom in a person that doesn't have the disease, and you can study it in a way that is impossible to study on Earth. So these are little clues about humanity that are extracted from the souls of those who go off and do the exploration, and there's always been people willing to do that.
That wraps up our time for today. Don, thank you so much for taking the time to answer our questions, both here in the room, on our phone bridge, and on social media. But we're not quite done yet. Don is going to participate in an Instagram Q&A where he'll be taking even more questions a little bit later on. So head to NASA's social media pages for some more information about that. And we're looking forward to seeing you then. And that's it for today. Thank you so much, everybody.
It's been a pleasure to be here and to spread the techno stories.